A very, very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're tuning in. It's your boy Trader NJ coming to you live after a long weekend. A lot of price action this weekend, a lot of things happening this weekend. How are you all doing today? How are you all doing? Let me know where you're tuning in from. We've already got a comment here from Faisal saying, keen for the stream, bro. Always lines up well in Sydney, Australia time, 9:15 p.m. here. Amazing, amazing. It's good to see people from Australia tuning in. Elizabeth says, new week ahead. Yes, indeed, a new week ahead, Elizabeth. It's good to always see all of you. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll wait for a few more people to join the stream. And as soon as we have a few more members who are watching, then we can start and go ahead with the episode. But I've got to say, there is a lot to discuss today. There is a lot to discuss today. This is going to be a volatile week. A very, very volatile week. A big shout out to Rolf as well. It's good to see you, my friend. It's been a while since I've seen you on the streams. Great to have you on board. Good to see you. Dana says, hey, NJ. Hey, gorgeous. I hope you're doing well. I know you're tuning in from Australia as well. It's good to see you. Thank you for supporting the stream. Crypto Tiger says, good afternoon from Cape Town. Again, South Africa, we've got Australia, we've got the UK, we've got Spain, we've got Netherlands, and we've got South Africa as well now. And AD says, yo. So let me know, how are you guys doing this weekend? How are you guys doing? Did you guys manage to catch the short on Bitcoin? We took a short on Bitcoin in the In It for the Tech Telegram channel. We had the plans marked out on the stream itself on Friday, but I gave some more information in the Telegram chat, which we've recently launched. So if you're not following the In It for the Tech Telegram channel, then the link is in the description below. You want to make sure that you're definitely being involved in that movement. The In It for the Tech brand is looking to grow for sure. And that Telegram channel will be something that's going to be very active over the coming weeks, months, and hopefully years if we can keep this shit going. So Adenzo says, salam from Pakistan. Salam to you, my bro. Thank you very much for tuning in. What time is it in Pakistan, actually? And Lenny says he's from Australia as well. So it's good. We've got a nice, good mix of people here, all passionate and keen to learn about trading, and all passionate and keen to learn about markets and how they affect our trading day in, day out. So look, we'll kick off the episode in just a second. Adenzo says he got stopped out on a short setup. Sorry to hear that, mate. Really sorry to hear that. We took a short in It for the Tech channel, and it was quite successful. We closed that out today, and we're going to be going over Bitcoin today anyway, just to discuss how I got to the idea of the short, and what examples we can take from that short to make our other trading ideas better. But more importantly, you guys have seen what's in the headlines of this stream today. There is so much to talk about that will be impacting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. There is so much to talk to you guys about today. It's going to be a very messy stream, a lot of information to absorb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to make this information as crystal clear as possible so that anybody can understand it. All right. I know often be the case, we read articles or maybe we watch YouTube videos, and there's a lot of people who say stuff that we just struggle to understand. And I suffer from that too, a lot of the time. So what I want to do is I want to bring you guys this information, and I want to help you guys digest it in a much easier fashion. Okay. So look, we've got a few people in the chat now. I think we can kick the stream off. I think we're good to go. So number one, I'm going to start off the show by giving a shout out to our sponsor, Prime XBT. Prime XBT is who makes this show happen. So if you're enjoying the NJ show, and if you're really, really liking the content that we're bringing to you guys here, then a massive shout out to Prime XBT. They are currently sponsoring the show. They believe in the show. They believe that the show could be something big in the future, just the same way that you guys do. So, this exchange is an exchange that I use myself. I use it. I have an account on this exchange. It's a good UI to use. The people who run the exchange are top people. I can't say anything better about those people who run the exchange. So, if you enjoy the content, and if you're really liking what we have here to offer on In It for the Tech's NJ show, then check the link in the description below. Sign up using the code TraderNJ1. It does go a long way. It's something that they do see. It's something that they merit. So if you've got a good 5 minutes of your day, maybe you might want to sponsor up to Prime XBT. Sign up to Prime XBT, sorry. Other than that, of course, I do have to once again mention that if you are looking in the description below, you will see the link to the Telegram channel, In It for the Text Telegram channel. It's something that you definitely want to be on board on. If you haven't subbed to that already, then it takes a second of your time. Once again, if you have Telegram, if you're in cryptocurrency, you're most likely going to have Telegram anyway, okay? So make sure that you guys are subscribing to that too. It takes a click. You can even mute it and have certain alerts on it. It will really help you guys out, okay? It's something that I want to add to it. And another thing, of course, we've got the In It for the Tech Twitter account. So if I maybe just type it in It for the Tech Twitter, let's have a quick look. This is it right here as well. So if you guys don't know, we have got In It for the Tech's Twitter account. Make sure you're giving that a follow as well. And this is my personal account here, Trader NJ. Make sure you guys are giving that a follow too. I share all my live content. And this is the short that we're going to be talking about today, which Twitter has just rudely pushed away from me. But we are going to be talking about this short today as well. And finally, before we really kick the episode off, make sure you're liking the video. And if you're new to the channel, then subscribe to this channel. You're going to like the content, all right? I'm not going to let you down. That's not the plan. Make sure you're subscribing to this content, and the more you guys subscribe, it's a domino effect. The more it will enable me to come live for you guys every day, every weekday, Monday to Friday, 12:15 p.m. So look, let's kick it off with Bitcoin, okay? And before we do, it's important to know that we have got a very volatile week ahead of us, okay? This is a website that I shill to you guys every single week. It's something that you guys should always have open, and it's something that you guys should learn about as much as possible. So if you are tuning into the NJ show and you see me as maybe some sort of mentor, then this is your first piece of homework, right? Get on to your laptop, to your PC, onto your mobile phone. Maybe you've got a tablet, and go to the website forexfactory.com. On this website, you guys will see so many pieces of information that affect the market day in, day out. It's something that you have to have under your belt. Okay, so I hope that you guys are paying attention. We're going to cover this as well today, which is the earnings releases. So the 175 companies, 175 US companies reporting this week is one of the highest ever. This is going to affect the market, okay? So we need to cover this today on this channel. As you can see, a lot of you guys will be looking at the screen right now and recognizing a lot of these major companies, such as, of course, we have here these banks here on the corner here. We've got McDonald's, which a lot of you might already know, Coca-Cola, UPS. On Wednesday, we've got, on Wednesday, it's a bit of a slower day. We've got car companies like Ford, Hilton, Shopify, but of course, on Wednesday, we have FOMC. So we will cover that too. And then on Thursday, we've got the likes of, Amazon and Apple reporting their earnings. So, we have to pay attention to this. It's something that is going to affect the market. It's something that we need to at least be on top of and aware of, so that we can help target our shorts or our longs. So what I'll do is I'm going to come back to this in a moment, right? Well, not in a moment, but what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Bitcoin as we usually do on this channel. We'll go through the PA analysis of Bitcoin. We'll talk a bit about the charts. We'll move on to the news, and then if we have time, we'll come back to the charts again, all right? I know you guys might have some altcoin requests. I know that you guys might want to chart X, Y, and Z. So we will do that, all right? We will do that. But in order to get that going, make sure you're liking the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribing. Let's kick the episode off with Bitcoin. So if you're new to the channel, I'll do a breakdown in a moment. I like to do breakdowns anyway, every single day, just so that we have a clearer understanding. For those of you who are here already and you understand what we're doing, great. You've been with the NJ show for a while now, all good. And for those of you who don't understand the chart that you're seeing in front of you right now, well, it's okay, because I'm going to give you a breakdown as to how we got this chart in the first place. And it only takes 5-10 minutes to understand. So there's no big deal in doing so. Now, look, over on the In It for the Tech Telegram channel, we took this short. Okay. Now, how did I get to this short idea? What was it that allowed me to take this move? So realistically, I took this short at around here. It was here that I took the short. This is where I decided that, we're breaking back inside of this range now. So on the right hand side here, you can see this is the range high. How do I know it's the range high? Well, it's the 100% marker. Of course, we've got the highs here that cap the market for 35 days. That's how I got this range high. And the main argument here was that it was a deviation. Now, I did say, if you guys watch my most previous episode, which I did on Friday, we had a number of plans. All right. We had a number of plans where we were trying to ascertain, is Bitcoin going to break inside of the range and nuke, or is it going to maybe push up? What were the long scenarios that we had for Bitcoin? And lo and behold, two of those scenarios have taken serious interest for me. Okay. And I'm going to discuss those two scenarios now. So the first scenario that we had for Bitcoin was, if this here, hey, what's going on with this chart? Right. There we go. If this here was a deviation, that would be the start of the worst case scenario for me. And why would that be the worst case scenario? Well, essentially speaking, we've had this range that starts from here, and let's take it all the way up until here. Okay. So we've got all of this price action inside of this box here, which I'm taking into consideration now. All right. Now, we were in this range for the better part of 36 days. So more than a month we spent inside of this range. And when we finally broke out and we did this little retest here, it was signs that, look, we've broken out of a range that has been trapped and we're finally breaking out. Could this be the start of a push maybe to 28, 29K, where price should really revisit at some stage for a bearish retest per se? All right. Now, we also spoke about, once we get outside of this range, then do we have a target? Well, yes, we did have a target. And this green line here has a story behind it. So we'll talk about that in a second too. All right. We're going to talk about that too. Now, to add further confluence to our longing scenarios, we had this trend line here. Now, notice how this trend line, not only is it respecting the trend line, but it's respecting the range levels too. So we've got the 25% of the range right here. The trend line respected that. We've got the mid range. The trend line respected that. And then we've got the 75%. The trend line respected that. And ultimately, when we were around this area here, we were hoping that the trend line would also respect that too. But unfortunately, it didn't, and we broke below. Now, when we broke below and we broke back inside of the range, for those of you who watch this show day in, day out, you guys will know that in order to take a long or a short on this channel anyway, we need multiple reasons. We can't just take a long or a short based off indicators or based off random no trade zones. We need to have logical reasons as to why we took the short. So the first reason I had here was, of course, we had a massive range here. This range is not allowed. We can't allow ourselves to ignore this range. It's an important range. The second reason was that we had a trend line break right here, which caused us to retest it in a bearish fashion, didn't we? That's two. The third one, and this is the biggest one, was we deviated back inside of this range now, and that changes things. Okay, that changes things heavily. Now, it's not all over. We're just talking about the short right now, so I don't want you guys to think that I'm just leaning bearish and I'm not going to give you guys better scenarios. We're going to keep talking about it. So, once we deviated this range, that was another sign. Now, this line here, this level here as well, this is resistance. And we tapped this resistance. And not only did we tap it, but we deviated it right here. Now, let's understand this level. And in order to understand this level, I'm going to go over to my messy Bitcoin chart right here, where we can understand what that level is. So that level the green level on the previous chart, notice that it's blue on this chart here. Now, this is the same chart, it's Bitcoin. However, it will help you understand where I got this level from. So if I go into the daily chart of Bitcoin right here, and we explore this level right here. So this level here, this blue level here, where we found resistance, this level has a story behind it. And the story behind this level is that once upon a time in 2017, in 2020, apologies, this is the level that we were consolidating at before we were able to make this all-time high here at 43k. And for those who watch this show day in, day out, you guys will know the importance of 43k to me. I love this level 43k. If we was to ever break above 43k, it would open doors for very, very, very big targets. But getting back to 43k alone can only really be spoken about if we break above 30k. Now, that's okay. We've got this consolidation right here. This is the area that we're going to focus on. This is the resistance that we hit. This is the resistance that sent us back down. So what is next for Bitcoin? Okay, I hope you guys understand that. I'm going to move back to the cleaner chart of Bitcoin, where we can identify what the next potential steps are. So there we go. Right. So again, so we understand now that this green line here, we know what the purpose is, and it was a natural magnet for price to break down. Now, ultimately, I didn't really think that it would hold that kind of resistance that it did. I was very impressed by it. And either way, I wasn't fussed too much because I had my confirmation plan. My confirmation plan was break inside of the range, retest. It gave us one more retest, which made us a little bit worried. It did. Of course, price could have done something along the lines of this. If from here it could have done this, and then suddenly we would have our invalidation right there, which would have allowed us to take that trade. Okay. And I did mention it in the Telegram chat. I did say, if Bitcoin is to reclaim 23,000, if Bitcoin is to get back above this level and show that it's holding in the same fashions that it showed here, in the same fashion that it showed here, and in the same fashion that it showed here at these previous range levels, then I'm going to take that as the deviation is done and we are going to get higher prices. Now, one thing that some people are noticing is that yes, we took this short, and yes, I closed it a little bit early, and I'm happy with the target. So why did I close my short, and what do I think could potentially happen next with Bitcoin? Well, one scenario I mentioned in the previous episode on Friday, I mentioned here that although this is the range high, right, there are levels below it that are just as important. Now, I chose this as my range high, and the reason for that was because this really held the market down. Okay, I could have opted to use this level here, 21,600, as my range high, but I didn't do that. I opted to use this here, and I used this here simply because it was the resistance that couldn't even let us get past this 75%. You see over here, we even have a deviation where price really tries to get into this consolidation here, and it just doesn't work. All right. We've got a comment here. Look at this comment that we have here. This guy says here, come on, mate, get on with it. You're yapping like my wife. All right, well, let me explain to you what I'm going to do now. I'm going to remove you from this channel completely, and you're going to just miss out, basically. There we go. So now we've got rid of that cretin. We can continue with what we're talking about. For those of you who actually are interested in learning, and for those of you who are interested in actually making it in the next cycle, you guys will stick around and pay attention. So now that we have that cretin that's gone and he's out the way, he's been pushed out, we can move on with the more serious candidates that we have here for the next cycle. So look, once we got back inside of the range, we had confirmation here. Now, the reason that I've decided not to get rid of this idea completely is because look what we have here. We have resistance, deviation, and we have support right here. Now, notice what happens All right, it's very, very important to understand how this support and resistance flip works. They have stories between them. All right, so when we had resistance here, look at the sell off that we had. We had to deviate the mid range in order to get back above and push back into support. All right. Secondly, once we had resistance right here, the sell off was far greater than the sell off that we had here. So, this resistance right here at the 75%, you could argue this as a range high as well. Okay. Now, when we finally got back above, this deviation right here was a signal that this resistance here is not messing about. Okay, because we had the same type of sell off, we got all the liquidity that we needed from these highs here, and we had that crazy, crazy, crazy sell off. Now, interestingly enough, when we did finally reclaim and get back above, this support that was created now enabled us to break out of the range. Okay, so this is strong support. This is support that I'm not really going to ignore. So, how do I trade this support? Well, if you watched the episode on Friday, you will know that one of the plans that I had set out for Bitcoin was something along the lines of this. Okay, this was one of the plans that I had for Bitcoin on Friday. And you know what? I'm not going to knock it just yet. Okay, there is a short scenario. I've led with a long scenario. As weak as the market is looking, I've left the long scenario. I've left the short scenario last, and we're talking about the long scenario. Why? Because look at this, right? Look at this. I'll explain it to you guys. This is the mid range, okay? This blue line here is the mid range. And we know that the mid range in any range is an important level. It's a level that we don't like to break. It's a level that we expect a lot of volatility to come from. Now, when we had tapped resistance here, we deviated the mid range. I'm pretty confident that a lot of people were looking for price to come up here and then break above and start pushing up to take out these highs right here. But that's not what happened. What happened was we came back and retested a level that no one was really paying attention to, and that was the 25%. Now, notice how we broke below the mid range, we rounded out, okay, took these highs out before we sold off. So why can't the same thing happen here like this? Okay. Now, I know a lot of you guys, look, I can see it in the comments already as well, talking about the 200 weekly MA, talking about lower time frames and clear Wyckoff distributions. I have complete respect for that. Okay. I do. I do have respect of that. At the same time, you know, my argument is that there is a lot of people out there who study price action and they don't really understand the markets. Okay. And when you don't understand the markets, and when you don't understand what's going on in the wider, broader market, you're going to end up looking at 15-minute time frames. You're going to end up looking at 5-minute time frames. Every high will be important to you. Every low will be important to you. And you're just not going to understand the market. And eventually you will get caught. Eventually people will discover that you don't really know what you're talking about. So, you know, the reason that I'm talking about Bitcoin first today is just to give you an example of where I think price is going. Ultimately, it's not financial advice, and ultimately, these are just ideas. But what we discuss later on in the episode, where we start talking about the things in the headlines, where we talk about the earning reports, where we talk about FOMC, we've got FOMC on Wednesday. When we start talking about those things, that's when we can start talking about what we might be able to see on the lower timeframes on that day. So one thing that you guys need to be aware of this week is that we are going to have a massively volatile week. And there are so many reasons for that. So what I'm going to say is, if you're following people on Twitter, and if you're following people on YouTube, and if you're following people on any social platform, try and pay attention to that. Try and look for it yourself. Are they just focused on clear-cut price action where every high and every low is the only thing that they care about? Or are they basing their price action against what is actually happening in the market? Okay. And that's why I'm leading with these scenarios here. I could throw many scenarios. In fact, I could take this here, this 100% here, and this 75% here. I could turn this box here into a range. Once I turn it into a range, we could get 5, 10, 15-minute scalps, but that's not going to help you. That's not giving you any value. That's not going to increase your knowledge of the markets and of how you trade. All it's going to do is make you nail one or two trades and get stopped out 10 other times. Okay, so this is the long scenario I have. This is long scenario number 1 for Bitcoin. And this is a scenario that we marked out in the previous episode, which was on Friday. This was a good scenario. I like this scenario. It's a support and resistance scenario whereby we've got this deviation here, we've got resistance here, we've got resistance here, and of course this was what was capping price down. So I'll give you guys a second. You guys should have already screenshot that by now. I will add chapters in later on, so that you guys can look for this scenario. This is a probable scenario that I think. Of course, the news that we have will insinuate that it's not, but that is one scenario. The second scenario for Bitcoin is if price is to break below this level right here, then and hold here, then unfortunately we have to be realistic that the resistance that we've got here, the deviation that we've got here, this resistance that we've got here, this resistance that we've got here, I'll be honest with you, with the news that we're going to cover today as well, I get the idea that the market is just going to nuke. Okay, I'm not saying that it's going to nuke all in one go, but of course we have this level here where we're expecting a reaction, so maybe we come back up and then do something like this. But ultimately, these lows here are what really has my attention. And the reason for that is because these lows here kind of remind me of these highs right here. Okay, so a majority of the price action is happening inside of these two levels here, and yet secretly what the market is doing is it's showing you that the magnets for price are in fact right here and right here. That's a bit of a draw, big circle right here. Okay, so if we've taken out the liquidity on this side of the range, then arguably we might have to come back and take the liquidity here. So the short scenario that we've got, which I'll give you guys a second to screenshot as well, is we can do whatever it wants here. That's not an issue. But as soon as price gets below this 75% of the range, 21,600, as soon as I see resistance there, this is going to be a pretty big short, okay? Compounding opportunity there, and then ultimately take out these lows here. This is a pretty big short. Okay, I'm not saying that we can't come to the mid-range and then shoot back up. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I'm saying is that get below 21,600, that is the line in the sand for me. Okay, because essentially, if you think about it, this little candle here, this little wick here, that's a deviation, right? Cool. The next time we deviated a little bit bigger. We got a bodily close outside of this 75%. 2 bodily closes, and then we came back down. Cool. The third deviation was a big one. Look how many candles we had here in this deviation, and then for us to get back below and sell off. Now, if we get back below this 21,600 level, then the deviation has gotten even bigger because now we've got something like this. There's your confirmation right there. Okay. And really and truly, it's going to be really difficult to stay bullish on the crypto markets when we have price action like this. Okay. PA can change suddenly, but metrics and data, inflation rates, understanding, like we'll talk about FOMC today, what we expect the height rates to be, how many BPS can they increase it by, what the likelihood is. Those things won't change. Okay, those things will help you navigate the market. So look, price action is good. Price action is really good. You need price action under your belt, and I really do appreciate that. But there's so much more to this game than price action and reading candles. And believe me, I promise you, when we're not in bull markets, people will get found out. If that's all you can do, then just be truthful to yourself. Be honest to yourself. Learning price action is not easy. It's a very hard skill. If you can do it, great. And if you can do it, then it's time to maybe open your mind and start learning more things that will really help your trading, that will really help your direction. Okay? Where we are in price right now, Bitcoin could go in any direction. Now, a price action trader will say to you, well, look, I'm not going to touch price here because it can do anything. Okay, it can do anything. It can go up or it can go down, which is fair. We've got plans for both scenarios and how we're going to use them, how we're going to compound against them. At the same time, we can't just leave it as that. We can't just leave it as that. We need to understand the rest of what's going on in the market. Look at this. We need to understand this. If you guys aren't tuning in to listen to this, you're not going to make it. If you're tuning in just for a quick little TA session, you're not going to make it. Mark my words, you'll be one of the people that will get left behind incredibly in the next market. It just is what it is. I can't sugarcoat it anymore for you. So make sure you stick around till the end of the episode, because we're going to be talking about interest rates. We're going to be talking about earning releases. We're going to be covering FOMC. We're going to be covering some COVID stuff. We're going to be covering this monkeypox business that you've seen in the headline. This is important. This is what's going to decide whether or not they're going to be able to save the market or not. Okay, because if we only look at price action and we only focus price action, we'll always be trapped within the range. What about the big breakouts that happen? What about these big bull markets? Look at this. What about these massive bull markets that we have here? What about this? I guarantee you that the people who trade inside of short ranges like this, they're not going to catch moves like this. They're not going to catch moves like this. And furthermore, if they do get on board moves like this, they're not going to catch the moves back down. They'll be one of the people that don't sell the top. They'll be one of the people that don't take profits. And they're, funnily enough, on Twitter, they're the ones that tell you take profit, take profit, take profit. And then when you find out that they can't even fucking trade, that's when you realize that they themselves didn't take any profit, you know? So it's one of those things you see a lot in trading. So anyway, that is your Bitcoin short scenario. I hope you guys understand that, and I hope it makes sense. We are at a pretty make or break with the market right now. Why? Because of this level here. This 21,600 level really and truly is the line in the sand for me. It can go either way. If we break below the mark, if we break below the 21,600 level, we're going to have to short, basically, if we break below that level. And we're going to have to short. I'm probably going to get behind that short with size. You know, the short that I took here, it was a successful short, but I didn't really apply much size. You know, it was just a good way to make some money. Now, if we get below this 21,600 level, I'm going to need to short this with size. And I'm sure a lot of people will too. Contrarian issues right there, maybe. But we're yet to remains to be seen. Okay. Because if we look at a clean chart of Bitcoin, if we take a super clean chart of Bitcoin, look at this. This is exactly what I was going to draw out. We've got range high, we've got range low. We've broken back into the range. Where's the target? Here, range lows. Look at these lows right here. Okay? So if you haven't got this one marked out, I would definitely argue that you guys should mark it out. Now, alternatively, of course, even though this is a super clean chart, let's not ignore the fact that we have this little formation right here. Okay, so if we do decide to, okay, that is possible as well. Okay, so something to take into consideration as well. I'm sure you guys have that all screenshot now. This is just a very basic view, and sometimes I love to do that. Sometimes I love to take price and just look at a very, very, very basic view. Of course, we have multiple levels inside of this range. Of course, we have a gap here. Of course, we've got another range to play here. And of course, all of this has a story. But ultimately, I like to zoom out sometimes and just look at it for what the picture is trying to tell me. So what the picture is trying to tell me right now is that a long is possible. There is a case to be built for longs. There is a case to be built for shorts. We have to wait. We have to wait. Okay? So exactly. Look at this. Ryan is saying it right here. So wait to see how we react at 21,600. Now look, 21,600 is the level for me, man. That's the level for me, 21,600. That's the level where I get worried. You know, that's the short setup that we have there. It's not impossible for it to play out. It's very, very probable that it can play out. But in order to get to that, we have to wait really to see how 21,600 reacts. That's really and truly the circumstance that we're in. Are we going to break below? If we break below, then no bueno, no bueno. Okay, you can see why if we break below. Right here, that's what happens if we break below. And at the same time, look, because of all this resistance that we've had before, and we've seen support here before too, maybe we hold it, maybe we deviate it, okay, and we get back above. The reality is that we can mark out another 5 or 6 plans, okay. We can mark out another 5 or 6 plans. So G Fire here says, hey NJ, for somebody new, by new I mean a few months, what resources do you recommend for learning? Well, mate, you're at the right place. You're at the NJ show. You've got a community right here. You've got a community right here. A quick shout out to this community that we've got here. We've got Ryan, who's asking consistent questions. We've got Hafuel, who is a consistent member. We've got David, who's asking good questions. Strawberry EMP Division, Scarlett, who is consistently asking good questions, Rolly Diaz, another member of the community, Henry, New York, Zed Noted. We've got a lot of people here in the community that will help you, okay? Networking in crypto, it's something that I mentioned in the previous episode that we did. Networking in crypto is something ridiculously important. I would have not got to half the positions that I got to without networking in crypto. So in terms of resources, you're going to find a lot of things. In terms of resources, you're going to find information all over YouTube, Twitter, Telegram. You're going to get all different types of traders that you meet across. However, of course, join us here on the NJ community. We are a growing community. What we are trying to build here is different to the other communities. We're hoping to look out for each other. We share price action. We share trades. We have our Telegram that's growing slowly. Soon we'll have a much, much larger community where we can share a lot more. In the meantime, as Joel says right here, follow NJXOSC, Dank, listen to and take your time. Okay. Samir says, what's up, bro? Good to see you, mate. What's up, bro? All good to see you. And Sidium says, me. So a big shout out to Sidiums as well for being a member of this community and following us through everything. So look, that is your TA analysis on Bitcoin. And I really, really want to move on. And the reason I want to move on is because there is so much to talk to you guys about today. I really want to hold your attention. And before we move on now, make sure you're smashing the likes. So we've got 65 people watching here and we have 43 likes. So let's get those likes up to 60, all right? We want to hit 100 likes on every episode. Maybe today we won't be able to do that, but with your help, I'm sure we'll be able to do that. Make sure you're joining our Telegram as well. That Telegram is growing. It is going to be a hub of information in the future. So you can find that Telegram link in the description below, along with the link to our sponsor, Prime XBT. If you are enjoying the content, if you're really enjoying the content and you're happy to be here and you're enjoying what we're doing, what we're building here at the NJ community, make sure you give that sponsor a pat on the back, all right? So if you sign up to Prime XBT using the code TRADERNJ1, there is a deposit bonus scheme that they have going on at the moment, which helps you, benefits you in terms of your deposit sizes. And at the same time, they'll see that the NJ community is in fact serious and they'll continue to sponsor the show. They'll help us get to the numbers that we need to get to, all right? And it'll be all for you guys, all right? Ryan says it here. Appreciated, my friend. Stick to Trader NJ, Trader SC, Trader XO. I really appreciate that you... got me a bit flustered there. I really appreciate you, Ryan. And again, just before we move on, because we have so much to talk about, remember to join our Telegram channel, guys, for TA charts and latest updates, all right? It's in it for the tech, link in the description below. And again, finally, just before we move on, big shout out to Prime XBT. Thank you for the kind comment there, Crypto Tiger. Rightio. Let's move on to some of the juiciness, all right? To see whether or not the shorts are going to play out or if the longs are going to play out. So we're going to start off with the earning releases, all right? So this week is going to be a very volatile week for cryptocurrencies and global markets. So before we kick this off, let's make something very, very clear to all of you guys, all right? Excuse me. What is affecting Bitcoin right now? What is the reason that we're in the downtrend that we're in right now? What is the reason that the altcoins are just dropping like there's no tomorrow? And why are shorts working so much more than longs are? Well, the answer to that is the global markets, the traditional markets, okay? Traditional markets are impacting cryptocurrencies like there is no tomorrow. We know what's going on with the dollar. We know what's going on with Dixie. We know what's going on with the S&P. We know that rate hikes and inflation are key words. But how do they affect Bitcoin? How do they affect our trades day in, day out? Okay, it's good. It's more than good to have these trade plans put out on your screen and to mark out these ranges, trend lines, support and resistance. It's more than beneficial to do that. But if you're not understanding this, then how do you expect to circumnavigate around the market? Are you going to be somebody that relies on other people day in, day out? Or are you here to build something for yourself? You know? So let's go through this very quickly. So, Monday we have some banks here on Monday, so that's going to play a big role in this. So, in terms of what you're looking at here, guys, what you're looking at is a snippet out of 175 US companies that are reporting this week. Okay, and it is one of the highest amounts of companies reporting ever. So it's going to be big. It's going to really play a role on how FOMC plays out and whatnot. FOMC, interestingly enough, this week there is, I think I saw this morning, and don't quote me exactly on this, but there is a 78% chance that FOMC is expected to hit 75 BPS again as they try to mitigate inflation. Now, 75 isn't good. That's not good. I also read this morning that the euro inflation is expected to hit up to 8.7%, which is up 0.1% from 8.6. So, what happens when inflation grows? What happens when inflation grows? Well, inflation grows, it forces the dollar to go up in value, all right? At the same time, the Fed can't control that. So what they do is they implement monetary policies onto the S&P. Not onto the S&P, they implement monetary policies which affect the S&P. It puts pressure on the stock market. And what is the stock market? The stock market is what you're looking at right now. So instead of saying S&P, you can look at this picture right there. That can help you understand what is SPX. What is the S&P? Okay, now we need to take into consideration that if we're in a bear market, if inflation is rising, people are losing their jobs, people aren't making any money, how many of these companies up there are going to turn around and say, we are in massive profits? We are having a great month. We're having a great year. Everybody's buying McDonald's and everybody's buying a Coke every single time they go out. Everybody is using the Hilton Hotel for their services. Everybody's renting cars from Hertz. MasterCard, the credit is at an all-time high. People are just utilizing their credit, but they're paying it back on the same days. Intel are selling the most computers and processors that they've ever sold. Amazon is having the best year of its life. What are the realistic chances of something like that happening? I would argue 0 to 1%. Okay, I know for a fact that people aren't buying MacBooks. Okay, let's be really real. People aren't buying MacBooks. We are in a bear market, not just a bear market for cryptocurrencies, but we're in a bear market all around. All right, a recession looks like we are. It looks like we are on the verge of really announcing this recession. All right, it looks like we're getting there now, and one of the things that we can expect from these earning reports is that maybe if with enough reporting to suggest that we're not spending much, maybe that recession could be announced this week. And if a recession is announced this week, then are we prepared for it? Are we prepared for it? I don't understand your question here, mate. This guy says, tell us risk to reward. Why I always stop out before big moves, mate. I can't help you answer that. Maybe because you're not very good at price action. Okay, maybe you need to get better at price action, and maybe you need to understand what's going on in the global markets in order to really understand why you're getting stopped out all the time. So again, to summarize on this right here, we are going to get a lot of volatility in the market. And the reason that we're going to get a lot of volatility in the market is because we have got FOMC tomorrow, Wednesday. We've got FOMC on Wednesday. Okay, that is going to play a massive, massive role into what's happening in the market, and especially what we can expect going into August. Now, in June, I mentioned at the end of June, I said I expect July to be a green month. Okay. And when I said I expect July to be a green month, I'll be really honest with you. I thought that we could go a little bit higher than this. I didn't think we'd be leaving gaps like this. I thought we'd go a lot higher. I thought maybe we could get to maybe 30K around this level here, 30K. I would have liked it. Okay. Now, July was a green month. Maybe we'll have August as a green month too, where we push up a little bit higher and then we can really sell off into these lows here. Or maybe August will be a bearish month in general. Now, based on what I'm seeing here with FOMC predicted to be 0.75% again, 75 BPS, it makes me wonder if August is actually going to be a disastrous month for cryptocurrencies. Now, I know a lot of you guys are long on altcoins right now. Maybe a lot of you guys are long on altcoins right now. And if you are, then I've got to say, although this isn't financial advice, we have to take into consideration that this is a dangerous place to be. All right. Altcoins are not really going to be making you any money at the moment, simply because a lot of the money is exiting the market. Okay. A lot of money is exiting the market, and money will continue to exit the market, provided that we get low earning reports, provided that we get high inflation rates when the FOMC speaks. Okay, we had was it ECB? Was it ECB last week? We had ECB last week, and one of the board members for the ECB spoke last week, and we got a little reaction on the euro from that. Okay, the reaction that we got on the euro from that caused the dollar to pull back a little bit. We can look at the Dixie if you guys want to, maybe towards the end of the episode. If you guys want me to chart dollar, I can chart dollar for you guys. That's not an issue. But Lou Rock is saying it here. And Lou Rock is a member of this community. He has been for a while now, so I do appreciate when he comments. He says the White House has already changed their definition on what a recession is, so pretty obvious it's a recession. Now, look, I can't really disagree with that. I mean, it does appear that we are going into a recession, and if we're going into a recession, that means that it's going to be harder to make money. That means it's going to be harder to retain money. That means people are going to be looking for more credit, and there's not going to be any creditors to give them that credit. So, at the same time, as bearish as all of this news is, it makes me wonder, something is going to have to change. Something is going to have to change. And that is an excellent segue into my next point, which is the next piece of news that we have here, which is the China COVID cases drop as Macau, Shanghai ramp up mass testing. Now, this is the thing. We know that China was the originator, the initial hub for COVID. All right, COVID-19. I'm not particularly sure if that whole bat lab story is true. I don't know. That's the argument. I don't know. But we know that the origin of COVID-19 was from China. Now, it's important to understand this because we've got something else to talk about straight after this, which will sort of line it up. Now, let's take into consideration what happened. 2020 March, okay? Bitcoin is not really doing anything. We're in a bear market. We have been in a bear market for Bitcoin for however long we were in a bear market, okay? Cool. Nobody really cares about cryptocurrency. Nobody cares about altcoins for a fact. Cryptocurrency exchanges have very, very low volume. It's a bear market. It's a bear market. It's easy. All right. Simple. Just keep your money out of Bitcoin. Stay away from Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Easy peasy. Now, we get reports of COVID. We get reports that COVID is spreading across the world and it's a virus that's killing people, or at least participating in the death of huge amounts of numbers, right? Now, once we get that, we don't really take much importance. We don't give it much credibility. You know, when we have countries like maybe the Middle Eastern countries like Syria and Libya and countries that are not really fully developed and harbor war, we don't take viruses too seriously. Okay, we have Africa as well. When we have viruses that go out into Africa and whatnot, we don't take that too seriously. But what happens when you're in the United States and you're at your office, and what happens when you're in London and you're at the office and your manager walks into the room and says, right, guys, I'm going to have to send all of you home and we're going to have to establish a working from home scenario now because COVID has hit London and a lot of people will be catching it. A lot of people will die from this. What happens then? What happens then is we get a global wide market crash. Everything tanked as soon as that happened. Okay, cool. Now, as soon as that tanked and everything like that happened, because of the state that the market was in, the Fed had to step in. The market was in a shambolic state. Bitcoin broke down to, I think, what, 3.5K? Right? 3.5K. Okay. Now, when it did that and the market tanked, the Fed had to step in and say, look, we need to figure something out. And we can't figure something out right on the spot. We're not prepared for a global pandemic. We're not prepared for something like a plague. So we need to do something to keep people afloat. We need to do something to keep people active. All right. So what they did was they turned on their fancy money printer. They turned on their fancy money printer and they printed $2 trillion in thin air. Just like that. Just like we have tokens in cryptocurrency, supply goes up, supply goes down. Similarly, right, they just printed $2 trillion out of thin air. Okay? With that $2 trillion, what happened? We had a massive bull market. The S&P hit new all-time highs. Bitcoin hit new all-time highs, going from 3 to 4K to nearly $70,000. Bitcoin did that. And now we've retraced from all of that. COVID is becoming old news. However, the market is still in a position where we could potentially be in big trouble. Okay, so if the market is potentially in big trouble and we are not getting cataclysmic news like potentially COVID, then what happens next? What do we need to do? What do we need in order to get this market to start going up again? In order to get people bullish again? In order to start getting people more rich again? What needs to happen? Well, you know, news like this isn't particularly going to solve anything. News like this is what's going to tell people that the economy is stabilizing, that things are going back to normal, when in reality, it might not actually be. Okay. So this is something important just to know. China's COVID cases fell to the lowest in a week, even as officials of Shanghai and the gambling enclave of Macau ramp up mass testing. Now, all good, all good, all good. But I don't know if you guys have noticed lately, right? Which brings me on to my next topic as well. Please like and subscribe to the content. If you like the video, that will be awesome. And if you subscribe to the content, bottom right-hand corner, you can subscribe to In It for the Tech. You will not regret it. So please make sure you do that. So moving along to this piece of news we have here, where we have got this new virus. Okay, this new virus, and it's called MonkeyPox. That is where we are now. Okay, that is where we are now. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you guys have seen that there might have been videos where Biden, I think it was Biden, was it Joe Biden, saying that, you know, there will be another pandemic. There will be potentially another pandemic, and this is possible. It is indeed possible. How will it come, though? And if we did have a pandemic, what could potentially happen that could allow our portfolios to finally go up? You know, now with COVID, it made a lot of people rich. Okay, people who joined cryptocurrencies, they became rich. They became rich because, you know, altcoins were going up, Bitcoin was going up, the market in general was just going up. Okay. Now, what will happen if we get another event like this where the Fed will have to then eventually do something. They're going to have to do something. If a virus hits the US and the UK and we can't go to our jobs, we can't go to the offices, we can't work, we're losing our jobs, we're getting fired, we've got no money coming into the house, we can't afford our mortgages, we can't afford any more deferred payments, the Fed are going to have to step in. It's pretty much as simple as that. Okay, imagine what will happen if nobody has jobs and nobody has money. Then what's going to happen is crime is going to grow up incredibly, and if crime goes up incredibly, then fine, let's see if we can control that, let's see if we can handle that. But wouldn't that mean that we'd need more police on the streets? Wouldn't that mean that we'd need more medical care available to us? But that doesn't make any sense because the virus told us to go home. So it's a very, very odd situation to be in. And, I really think that anything that does happen, I think that they're going to be looking for an excuse to turn this money printer back on. It only slows down the inevitable process of the dollar dying, but I think that they're going to have to turn this money printer back on. Now, what does that mean for Bitcoin if they turn this money printer back on? Well, Bitcoin can do something like this while all of this is going on, all right? And then what it can do is it can go like this. As soon as the money printer turns on, that's when it can do something like that. And you know what? Why would that be such a bad thing? Okay, if we look at a 5-minute chart, we've got these lows that are forming here. Deviation, get back above, hold here, and then we push up. And then break above this, hold this, and new highs. Why is that not realistic? You tell me. These were the lows that caused the market to give us this big move. Okay, we knew that this was eventually going to get filled in here, this gap. All right, market makes its lows, it gets below, it deviates back into the original consolidation that sent it up, and then we get above, hold above 30k, get back to all-time high. We're experiencing all the things that we experienced here in September 2020. We're experiencing all these things that we experienced here in September 2020, somewhere along here. All right. And then we push up to new all-time highs. I believe in Bitcoin. I really believe in Bitcoin, So I think that Bitcoin will do something like this. I do. Everything that I'm doing here right now, me coming live for you guys every day, me talking about altcoin setups and Bitcoin setups and charts, it's because I believe in Bitcoin. I really do. And I believe that Bitcoin will go higher than this. Okay, but in order for Bitcoin to go higher than this, we need to build cases. We need to understand what the circumstances, what the catalysts are going to be in order to get Bitcoin to go there. I've just noticed that there's 66 people watching. Let's smash up the likes. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. Make sure you're looking at the links in the description to join the Telegram, to sign up with our sponsor, Prime XBT, who is kindly sponsoring the show and helping us bring more information to you guys. So please, if you have a second of your time, subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. It helps our community grow. If you've got a second of your time, please make sure you sign up to Prime XBT using the link in the description below with the code TRADERNJ1. And if you have time especially, please make sure you join our Telegram channel, which is in the comments and in the description below. It's the first link in the description below. You'll be notified when we're going live. You'll be notified when we're talking about certain things, altcoin setups, Bitcoin charts, etc., etc. Let's have a look. So Lurock says, got to head out. Good job on the content. We'll catch up later. Cheers to you, my friend. We've got a few more things to discuss. We will carry on together. And Rowley says, NJ, I've noticed that you mark out some levels on the candle body instead of the wick. What's the difference? Well, the difference is it all depends on how price is respecting that level. All right. Each level I mark out has a story behind it. Okay. So that's why I change my levels regularly. Sometimes I'll use the wick, sometimes I'll use the body. I prefer the body because the body handles all the volume inside of that candle. And some people prefer the wick because that's all they can really do. They can just trade price. Um, we've got another comment here from Strawberry as well saying I should change my name, subscribe to 3K so that Trader SC can come back. Yes, Trader SC did say that on the channel on Thursday last week. He said that when we get to 3K subscribers, he will come back on the show. And you know what? Honestly, guys, if you guys help me push, if you guys are helping me, you're liking the video, you're subscribing to the content, you're checking out the sponsor Prime XBT, you're signing up to the Telegram, then really and truly what's going to happen is I'm going to have to do an episode where I bring on both XO and SC. So it's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen. All right. The NJ community is growing. We are strong. We are noisy. We are making our name. We are making our stand in the communities around us. All right. So if we do get enough, then I'll bring the entire crew on. It will be myself, Trader SC, and Trader XO talking about markets, talking about directions, arguing in between ourselves, and really and truly making sure that you guys are getting the best possible content that you guys can get. All right. That is something that I'll be doing for you guys. So back to this monkeypox situation that we have here. You know, it's a very, very tricky one. It's a very, very tricky one. And it's if the World Health Organization is issuing a sort of red alert per se, then I don't think there's anything to be concerned about just until we start getting actionable impacts. Okay. So if for instance, you know, I want to go to the gym after this stream, yeah, I can't do that if we've got a monkeypox outbreak. So that's one. Number two is if I can't go to work. I don't particularly work in an office. I work here with you guys, but for a lot of you guys might actually be tuning in from your office. So if you're tuning in from your office, then another actionable impact would be if you can't go into the office because we've lost public transportation. If we've lost public transportation and we can't go to work, that's going to be another actionable impact. All right. So really and truly, I'm not particularly sure how to handle this information, not just as Trader NJ, but as just a human being, just like you. I'm not sure how to handle this information yet. However, it does make me wonder in my mind that the Fed are going to need to do something. People are asking the question. I'm asking the question. I shouldn't be saying it, but I'm going to be saying it anyway. What is the next event that could happen that could allow us to get that stimulus back into the market? Okay, because look, we're not earning enough at our jobs. We're not earning enough on our trades. We're not. The market is only going down. So there's no altcoins that are going to give us those 100x returns. And most of the people that were participants of the last bull market, they didn't cash out and take profits. So now they're all losers in the bear market. So nobody really has any money. And if nobody has any money, then nobody's prepared for something like this. Nobody's prepared for that COVID scenario that might happen again. Which means that the only thing that they're going to be able to do, the only sort of scenario that I can think of that makes any sense is for them to print another $2 trillion. Print another $2 trillion, allow people to get paid during the next pandemic. And as soon as they get that money, we know exactly where that money is going to go. It's going to go right into the stock market. Now, if Bitcoin and the stock market are coupled, then if the stock market's going bonkers, then I'm assuming Bitcoin will too, just like I pointed out in this chart right here. Okay? So, you know, Hassan said something that really makes me laugh right there. I really like this comment. He says, we need Trump back. Now, look, the thing is, I know that this is a topic of debate. I really like Trump. I really do. I don't like him for what he does. I don't like him as a president. I don't like him as a human being. I don't like him for his life decisions. I like him because he loves the stock market. And who are we? For the 60 plus people in this chat right now, who are we? We're traders. We're traders. We love Bitcoin. We love Ethereum. We love altcoins. Now, Trump loves the stock market. So anything that guy does is going to be to pump the stock market. That guy got banned on Twitter for trying to pump the stock market, and he was the president of the United States. Okay? So, really and truly, I want somebody who can come in and pump the stock market, because the more generational wealth that me and you can make for our kids and our future grandchildren and whatnot, I'm not going to say no to that. There's a certain etiquette that you have to have. I appreciate there is a certain etiquette that you must have, where you have to say certain things and be a certain way. But look, when it comes to my family, when it comes to my mum, my dad, my sisters, my brothers, my potential children in the future, my bro, I'm going to do whatever I need to do for them. And I know that a lot of you people in this chat, you guys think the same way. So I'm just being totally honest when I say I want the stock market to go up. I don't really care what happens before and after. I want the stock market to blow through the roof. I want to see the S&P at 10K. I want to see Bitcoin at 250K. I want to see altcoins go crazy. Okay? Altcoins that can make us incredible returns. I want to see meme coins come back. I do. Meme coins make a crazy amount of money, and I want to see that industry come back so that we can all ride them and we can all sell at the top and we can all make money. You just got to be honest with yourself sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And the honesty should warrant some likes. So make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribing to the Telegram chat in the description below. And make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Okay? I need you guys to subscribe to the channel. That's the most important thing. It will allow me to bring more content back for you guys day in, day out. Okay, that's the reason why. So, moving on from this, I mean, it's a tough subject to move on from. It's a subject that we need to talk about a lot more. A very, very difficult subject to ignore here, but we're going to have to move on from here for now, because we're going to have to wait for it to develop. But look, I mean, again, if this is to develop, right? If this is to develop, then maybe we're not far from a low in the market. Okay, because we've been dumping, we've been in this bearish trend now for the better part of a year. November will be a year. Okay, November will be one whole year that we've been in a bear market since the top was in for Bitcoin, and we have had a crazy freaking 2022. Nobody can tell us now that 2018 is gone, that 2018 will come again, because we've done it. We've done it. 2022 has been the bear market, and it's been a horrible bear market. A lot of people will turn around and remember 2022 for how bad that bear market was. Okay? Dave says, you're doing a great job, mate. Keep it up. Greetings from Germany. Guten Tag, Dave. Thank you for that lovely comment, mate. Cheers. Appreciate you a lot. I appreciate all of you. I know that it's not easy to tune in, and maybe some of you guys want to just focus on TA. Maybe some guys just want to focus on the news, but it does mean a lot that all of you guys tune in, and girls, that you tune in and that you listen to the content that I deliver. I'm hoping that you can gain value from it, and I'm hoping that it can help you guys learn and grow, because when the next bull market comes, we're not going to have time for any of this. When the next bull market comes, I shit you not, I'm going to be doing videos that start with, would you guys like to know the next altcoin that I'm investing in? Because the market is going to be so rampant. It's going to be so quick. Okay? We're going to be longing so many longs. We're going to be rinsing every altcoin that we can. We're going to be looking in all the meme industries, all the Oracle industries, all the database industries, all the privacy industries. We're going to milk it for as much as we can. So if you're subscribing to the NJ show now, then what you're doing is that you're learning as much as you can, so that when the next bull market comes and we start partying right here, when we start partying right here in this chat, whoo-wee, you're going to love it. You guys are going to love it. Trust me. I have a vision for this show, and we're going to make some good gains. All right. And Jorian here with a good comment. And he says, this one feels heavier than the 2018 bear, not going to lie. And I agree. I agree. So many people have lost money. So many people are down in the dumps. So look, let's not focus on the fact that we've all lost money. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the next question. The next question is, well, hang on a second. If COVID stimulus was what dragged the market up in 2020. What is the next thing that we need that's going to drag the market up? Is it going to be a case of time? Well, no. We know that bear markets come and bear markets go. Similarly, we know with bull markets come and bull markets go. But we need catalysts and we need triggers. We need things in the equation that allow us to start talking about things like that. So when I see the words like pandemic, right? I see words that remind me of capitulation. Okay? Words like pandemic to me sound like market crash inevitable. Words like market crash inevitable to me sounds like we are going to get very poor. And if we're going to get very poor, then somebody needs to step in and fix it because the economy will crumble. And if somebody needs to step in and fix it, I remind you, I draw your attention back to 2020, COVID, where all the stimulus checks came in. So, food for thought. I'm wondering just like you. I'm subscribed to this channel just like you should be. I'm in It for the Tech Telegram channel as you should be. I've liked this video. I actually haven't. All right, there we go. I've liked this video. So ask yourself if you have. So Joel with a good question here. Can you promise some NJ music too? Buy the blood, sell the green. In the next bull market, I will be dropping rap videos for you guys. We're going to do it live on the stream in the next bull market. In the next bull market, when everything is going up and we're seeing 100x's and 50x's and stuff, we are going to have some real fun on this channel. I promise you we will. But in the meantime, it's my job to bring you guys up to speed. Because when the bull market does come, it's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. It's going to be volatile. I won't have the time to answer questions the way I'm answering questions today. And I won't have the time to cover topics the way I'm covering them today. It's going to be pop, 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 because we're going to want to talk about altcoins. Okay, we're going to want to talk about the crypto ecosystem and how we can grow that ecosystem, what projects can come in that can help the crypto ecosystem thrive. And that is the vision for this channel. But we need a bull market for that to happen. So in that time where we're waiting for a bull market, we have to prepare ourselves. We have to be up to date with the charts, which we cover on this channel. We have to be up to date with the news, which we cover on this channel. And we have to be talking, debating with ourselves, talking in the comments. I'm very, very proud of this community. When I look at the comments that I'm seeing in here and I see people talking about the dollar, I see people talking about price action, and I can see people sharing information with each other, it makes me see that this vision is coming to fruition. And the reason that is because of you people in the chat right now. You're listening to me right now, and you're one person listening to me. Maybe you're two, maybe you're three, whatever. But you're listening to me right now from your phone, from your computer, from your tablet, from wherever. But you're making this possible. When you like the video, you're making this possible. When you subscribe to the channel, you're making this possible. And when you sign up to the sponsors are seeing that you're making this possible. So honestly speaking, give yourselves a pat on the back. This is one of those communities that I think is going to go really far, especially given the amount of intellectuals we have in the chat, always bouncing ideas back and forth. So let's move on. We have to move on, I'm afraid, as much as I want to keep talking about this particular subject. What is going on here? Okay, let me see if I can get that link for you guys 1 second, because it's an important piece of information. It's to do with Coinbase. Now I'll delete it all later. Okie dokie, guys. So look, what's going on here with Coinbase? So Coinbase has a conflict brewing with the SEC. What to know? So look, I don't know if you guys have noticed, right? But there's been some memes going around lately. One thing that we've seen in this 2022 bear market is that exchanges and VCs who are printing billions, they're not safe. They're not safe. Scarlett says, me and my partner are here, so 2 in 1. Well, a big shout out to you, Scarlett, sister, and your partner. A big shout out to you as well. Thank you for joining the NJ show. Appreciated. Very, very much appreciated. I hope I can deliver more value to you guys over the course of time. Guys, give me a second. I just want to grab a quick bottle of water and drink some water, and I'll be back in just maybe 30 seconds or something, all right? 1 sec. I have returned. Welcome back, guys. Thank you very much for that. I just needed to grab my bottle, and I've got my water now. So let's crack on with the show. Joel mentions this as well. Joel says Yuga Labs class action lawsuit. Do you see that one? Yes, we are going to talk about that today. Joel, you are getting really good at this, my friend. You were not like this a month and a half ago. You're getting really good. GG, man. GG. I'm very impressed. Okay, so look, so there's been a lot of memes going on with Coinbase, saying some people are arguing that they're insolvent and some people are saying that they're not. Well, we have some information today. So let's have a quick look at this and see what this is saying, and then we can move on. So why is this not working? There we go. Okay, so Coinbase, for those of you who know Coinbase, they launched their own token, didn't they, in the 2021 bull market? Zoom into this a little bit for you guys so you guys can see. There we go. So the Coinbase coin global is clashing with the Securities and Exchange Commissions over a question that could prove pivotal to the broader crypto industry. Are some tokens really securities? Now, look, this is one of those things. I think this is the similar situation that XRP got in with the SEC, all right, where it was focused heavily on around whether or not it would be a security, and this lawsuit stopped XRP from really growing, and it stopped XRP from really pushing. Now, for me personally, I don't trade coin, and it's not a coin that I bought on the open market. I think it was the way that it launched as well. I wasn't really involved in the launch either, so I don't really pay too much attention to coin. But you know, Paul Gruel here says, chief legal officer, CLO, says Coinbase does not list securities. End of story. So all I want you guys to focus on with this isn't the drama, all right? It's not the Love Island EastEnders type of drama that I want you guys to focus on here. What I want you to focus on is who Coinbase is. Coinbase is a very big entity in cryptocurrency. Okay, they really are. And if the SEC put too much pressure on them and something happens to them that stops their services, that could be another domino effect to our short scenarios. So the short scenarios that we've got, where we talk about resistance, we talk about 21,600 being resistance, and we talk about how we have support, resistance. If we get below 21,600, we're going to dump. Well, what kind of catalyst could we get to get that short? So seeing news like this around Coinbase, at the moment, I'm not taking it into too much heavy consideration. However, I am paying attention to what it might lead to in the potential future. So Bitcoin, on the other hand, is a commodity. SEC Chair Gray Gensler said Bitcoin futures, meanwhile, are regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So it's not an attack on Bitcoin, but Scarlett says it here. Coinbase allows you to buy but not sell your coins or withdraw. I don't think it's like that for everybody else. I think a lot of people are quite able to withdraw from Coinbase. But again, you've given us the key word there, Scarlett, where you said the word withdraw. So what we're seeing lately in the market, and we're seeing this a lot, we are seeing a lot of exchanges and a lot of custodians pausing withdrawals. Okay, and this is something that we need to be super careful about. So look, I'm saying it here. We've only got a few people in the chat, but I'm saying it here. If you guys are holding money on exchanges with the current status of the market, with all this bearish news that we're getting, please be safe. Protect yourselves. Okay, if you haven't got a nano ledger, this is what it looks like. Go and grab one. All right, this is not a sponsored. This is not a sponsored shill. Go and grab a hard wallet. If you haven't got MetaMask, for instance, go and make yourself a MetaMask account where you've got your own keys and you can manage your own portfolio, whether or not the market is doing whatever it wants to do. Okay, so just something to take into consideration. Please be on the lookout. Okay, so moving on, Yuga Labs, inappropriately induced BAYC investors class action lawsuit. So let's have a look at this. More bearish news. Now, it was weird because last week a lot of people were asking me to chart ApeCoin. We had a look at it and it looked bad. it looked really, really bad. And I was honest. I told people, I said, look, BAYC looks shit. So funnily how, a few days later, the weekend has passed and now we are seeing news like this. So, so Nickerman says, NJ, what if we have USD on Coinbase, not crypto? Mate, look, again, not financial advice, really and truly not financial advice. I'm just going to be honest and tell you what I would do. If I was you and I had USD on Coinbase, I would get it out straight away. I'd get it out and put it into my MetaMask, or I'd put it into my ledger, or I'd keep it in my own bank account. All right. Not your keys, not your crypto. If Coinbase tomorrow tell you that they are with pausing withdrawals, then you may have potentially lost that money. Okay. So let's keep on with this. Let's keep on with this. A quick kind comment here. I like it. Sam Hone says, very informative. I like always. Thank you, NJ. Thank you, Sam, very much for your lovely comment there. Make sure you guys are liking the video if you get a second to. We need to get over 100 likes. It helps with the algorithms. It will help us grow. We also need to get our subscribers up. We are so close to 3K subscribers. I can feel it. So please, subscribe to the channel, okay? Bottom right hand corner, make it happen. Make this 3K thing happen. Share it with your friends, share it with your uncles and aunties, anybody who's interested in cryptocurrency. Let them know about the NJ show, okay? This is a one-stop shop, okay? And this stream is only going to get better, and we're going to be doing more shows. When this community is big enough, I'm going to be doing 2 shows a day. I promise you, I will be. When the bull market comes back, maybe we'll be doing 2 to 3 shows a day. So it's up to you guys to make it happen. If I get stuck on 2.7k subscribers for the rest of the journey, then I'm not going to be able to come live for you guys every single day. It's not growing. Okay. So if it's growing and we can see it's growing, then come on, I've got to bring you guys more content. It's for you guys. And yep, again, I can see the chat happening below. Again, look, Melanade says this perfectly. I'm not going to read it out. You can read it for yourself. I'm not here to give you financial advice. A good friend here in the community, a good friend in the chat, who I haven't actually seen before, actually. So welcome to the NJ show. Appreciate you, but you can read that there. Okay. So again, USD is not supported with Ledger. Excuse me, I sneezed. But USDC it is. Yep. So you know what to do then. I feel like you already know exactly what to do. We have got a new subscriber. A big round of applause for Rocket Man, who has subscribed to the show. Welcome to the NJ community, Rocket Man. And Imran says, what about Binance? I'm going to put that message from Melanade right there. You guys can read it, okay? You guys can read it. There you go. Any exchange is any. You see how any is put in capital letters there? I don't know who Melanade is. He or she is is a new member of the NJ community, but he or she is sharing alpha. Well done. Well done. Share amongst yourselves. All right. This network that we're building right here, you guys all need to become friends. Trust me, you will help each other in the next bull market. I promise you. I really promise you. Okay. Believe me, I was a 2017 guy. That's how I made a lot of my friends. You guys don't even know how I met Trader XO, and we'll never tell you. We'll never tell you. But that's how you guys are doing it right now in the chat. That's how we're doing. That's how we did it too. So anyway, let's have a quick look at this. A proposed class act. Well done, NJ. Good English. A proposed class action lawsuit alleges that Yuga Labs inappropriately induced the community to buy Bored Ape Yacht Club non-fungible tokens and the project's affiliated ApeCoin Ape token. The proposed class action, driven by law firm Scott plus Scott, was published on Thursday, claiming that Yuga Labs used celebrity promoters and endorsements to inflate the price. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, you know what? Funnily enough, Faisal mentions this as well. He says, have you seen the BAYC documentary, which exposes neo-Nazism behind the NFT project and its co-founders? Now, I had a quick peek into that, and there wasn't enough substantial information for me to really come live and talk to you guys about it. Okay. So, I couldn't really touch on that. And to be honest, whilst we don't have enough evidence, is the word that I'll be looking for. While we don't have enough evidence or enough sort of enough of a claim we just can't cover it. At the end of the day, you've got to look at it from perspective. I'm coming live for you guys. For you, it's just you that's listening to this show, but how many other yous are listening to this show? I have a responsibility to make sure that the content I'm delivering to you guys is as accurate as it can be. And I have another responsibility to make sure that it's useful content. So, the last thing I really want to do is start saying, oh my God, these guys are Nazis, and it turns out to not be true. Then, I've turned the chair upside down and I've sat on one of the legs, haven't I? I've messed myself up there. So, this is just information that you guys need to know. Honestly, you know what? Bored Apes, what are my thoughts on Bored Apes? Bored Apes, I think that they were good at the time. In 2021, they were awesome. Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, there was a few others as well. They were good. I had some fun in the NFT space. I think I bought a bunch of penguins and I sold them for 3x's. Do you remember Pudgy Penguins? If any of you followed me on Twitter, ages ago. But Pudgy Penguins, I made some good money off that. And I know a lot of people made money off Bored Apes too. But, the reality is that in 2024, 2025, when we have a new bull run or a new bull market, we're going to have new NFTs. I'm still holding some NFTs. I'm holding Rare Pepes. I feel like Rare Pepes didn't really take off in the last bull market, and they are older than CryptoPunks. So I think that Rare Pepes will do really well. I'm going to make a video about it, but in a couple years' time. Like, why would I make a video about it now? But Bored Apes, I think that, it's going to turn into a dinosaur NFT. Maybe it will pick back up at some point. But for the time being, with the market looking the way that the market is looking, we're talking about things like FOMC, rate hikes, Bitcoin, the S&P. Is this really worth the attention? And I've got no disrespect to Bored Ape, yeah? No disrespect to them. They were very prominent in the previous bull market. So really and truly, no disrespect to them. I just mean, are they really relative right now? Are they really relevant? Are they really relevant right now? That's Moving along. A Bitcoin as legal tender, says the Mexican senator. So that is good. So we know that Bitcoin is here to stay. We know that even though the market continues to tank, we know that even though we're going to what looks like it might be zero, we know that Bitcoin is here to stay. I wanted this article up here just to show you guys that Bitcoin isn't going anywhere, that Bitcoin is going to continue to do its thing. And I believe in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is here to stay. That's something that I wanted to add here. Just something for you guys to pay attention to. So Mexico adopting Bitcoin, that's one. There will be other countries to adopt it too. I think when we had EXO on the channel a couple of weeks ago, he was saying himself as well, he believes in Bitcoin. He thinks that Bitcoin is a solid experiment, but it might not necessarily overtake the financial markets. Now, me personally, I think that Bitcoin will continue to remain and prevail. I think that we are going to have another bull market. I think that the other bull market that we have is going to be bigger than the one that we had now. And I think there's going to be a lot more millionaires made, whether or not that you can be on board. So this is something to keep into consideration as well. Moving along, Dubai, or the United Arab Emirates, emerges as a global cryptocurrency hub. Is emerging as a global cryptocurrency hub. And you know what? I really think that in the next cycle, Dubai is going to be one of those places that you can go to and you can really enjoy the money that you make from cryptocurrency. It's an ever-growing city. They are consistently pushing. They're consistently building professionalism to a T. I think Dubai will become the hub of cryptocurrency. I can't tell you when it's going to happen, but I do believe it is going to happen. Now, this is something that is really going to be important later on when we make more money. Right now, we're in a position where, market is just going down. So seeing news like this doesn't really make you excited. But one day, a day will come where you're making a lot of money in cryptocurrency. Hopefully, with our help, you will. And that's when you'll be paying more attention to Dubai, I guess. Okay, so there's that. Voyager filing says FTX Alameda proposal has misleading or outright claims. So this is an interesting one. this is an interesting one. I know a lot of you guys are keeping up with this Voyager stuff, and I think what's happened here is that FTX wanted to buy Voyager out, but they didn't. And Voyager turned around and said no. So here we go. So Voyager responded to a proposal from FTX and Alameda by claiming that it had misleading or outright false claims. The firm argued that the plan to offer customers liquidity... Stupid thing. The firm argued that the plan to offer customers liquidity on their funds locked up their platform would harm customers but benefit FTX. FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried said that Voyager's priority should be to return customers whatever assets it has left. So look, this is another piece of information that we need to take into consideration. This is what I mean. It's going to be a volatile week. All right. All the names that we're using right now are big names, and they all have things to do this week. We've got names like McDonald's, Amazon, banks, Hilton, Ford, Amazon, Apple, MasterCard, ExxonMobil, Hertz, and even in cryptocurrency, we've got names like Bored Apes, Coinbase, and now we're talking about FTX. So really and truly, what I'm trying to put together here is if the market is going to dump, right? If the market is going to nuke in a crazy fashion, then what could be the catalyst? Well, the catalyst is we've got so much going on this week. The week ahead is just, it's mind-boggling. The week ahead, we've got the earning reports, we've got FOMC, we've got all this news that's going on. We've got a potentially new pandemic. That's headline news. That's something that you should be talking about with your family. Like, if after this stream you go downstairs for a coffee or you go for lunch or something like that, go downstairs and talk to them. Say, hey guys, have you guys heard of this pandemic that might be happening? It's huge. It's huge news. So again, here in the filing, bankruptcy lawyers from Kirkland and Ellis said the proposal was a lowball bid dressed up as a white knight rescue. So, FTX wanted to buy Voyager. Voyager have now turned around and said, you guys are trying to lowball us and you're trying to pretend that you're trying to save us. So, yeah. So this is something that you guys might want to keep in touch. If Sam messes this up, and if Sam comes out looking like the enemy here, this could lead in the end of Voyager. It could lead to the end of Voyager, but more importantly as well, Sam will start getting painted as the bad guy, and a lot of media articles will be coming out painting him as a bad guy, which means, again, that will just not be good for the market. Sam is somebody who tries to help the market, not somebody who tries to push the market further down. So make sure you guys are paying attention to this. Make sure if you're trading any tokens on FTX, just be careful, okay? Just be super, super careful. And of course, this is what I was trying to look for. Oh, this is what I was looking for earlier on as well. I was looking for this to show you guys the euro inflation rates, to show you guys how inflation has been going up. Now, that pretty much summarizes all of the new stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So going back to Bitcoin now, after all of that, I tell you what we'll do, guys. Do you guys have any chart requests? Is there anything from a charting perspective that you guys would like to look at? I'm going to disappear for a minute, okay? 30 seconds, I'll disappear. I'll be right back. In the meantime, like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You want to do that. Join the Telegram channel in the link in the description below, the first link in the description. And give a shout out, show some love to our sponsor, Prime XBT. If you sign up using the code TRADERNJ, you'll get a deposit bonus. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Good platform to trade on. I'm going to be right back. And if you guys want to look at any charts or any potential altcoins, let me know. Okay, so I'll be right back in a minute. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I very, very much appreciate it. So let's have a look if there's any altcoins. We'll do a few altcoins and then we're going to wrap up the stream. Okay. So we've got XRP, Rose, Solana, and Glimmer. Right. So let's have a look. XRP is not one that I've really ever done. So let's look at XRP. XRP is looking like a mighty pump and dump. We'll start off on the monthly. And what we'll do is we'll take this high here, this monthly high. So the high of May 2017, and we're going to look at this as we're going to mark this out as our purple line of death. Okay. And what else shall we mark out? What else can we mark out from here? That looks, maybe the bodies right here look really good. Maybe the open. There we go. That's giving me a decent picture, and we'll give that a different color too. Okay. And then we'll see if we can refine any of this as we go into the lower time frames. Okay, so does that make any sense so far? So okay, let's see. So we've got this price was trapped in this area. Maybe we can go a little bit lower on this line here, and we can bring it here. There we go. That looks really solid. Right, so we're looking to see where price is trapped. Okay, and it looks to me like this is fairly good. Let's maybe push this up a tiny bit more. There we go. That looks good to me. And if we go on the daily time frame now, and we can see, does that make any sense to us? So deviation, support right here. This was the breakdown. Okay, so the XRP is a bit of a tricky one. And the reason XRP is a bit of a tricky one is because notice how when price spikes, it really spikes, okay? And the more that price continues to spike in this fashion, the messier the chart is going to be, the more proof that price, it won't be looking very good. Now, the thing is with XRP, we were talking about XRP a couple of days ago. We were talking about how the CTO of XRP, the ex-CTO, has dumped all his tokens. So he's dumped all his tokens on the market. So all of this, of course, we've had negative bearish movements in the market, but a lot of this has been the CTO guy dumping all his tokens. So from a fundamental perspective, I'm quite bearish on XRP in the short term, you know. Let's see if we can put a range together. Okay. Okay, so for XRP, let's see if this range is true. So the mid-range, I'm seeing a lot of action in the mid-range. That's good. We've got resistance, break above, push up. We've got support here, resistance here, and we're holding a support. Okay. All right, so for XRP, it's easy enough. We're going to have to play XRP in a very, very short manner. I can't tell you to do this and then do that. I'm not expecting that for XRP. What we can do is we can look at the price action that we have. So for XRP, I'm seeing something like that. So maybe if we could get back to the mid-range, if we hold the mid-range and we break above, we can have something like that. That's very ugly. So if we do something like this, okay, we can take out this and take out these clean lows. Let me zoom in for you guys so you guys can see. So we've got some clean highs here. All right, these highs here, they look really juicy to me right here. Okay, now if we do something like this, if we are to break above this trend line and we hold, then I will target this, maybe these highs here. Okay, something along those lines. And if maybe price is, that's long scenario 1. So gone. There you go. XRP, long scenario 1. Screenshot. The next scenario that we have for XRP is this mid-range has held as support. If we are to break this mid-range, that is potential for XRP. Okay, see how we've got the consolidation there? We've got the consolidation there. If we break out of this consolidation now, we push into the range lows. Making sense? Short scenario 1 for XRP. Long scenario 2 for XRP. There's your confirmation right there to play into this level right here. So between 32 cents and 37 cents ish. That's long scenario 2 for XRP. Okay. And then if we, because this is such a spiky pair, if this is the consolidation that led to the market going lower, then essentially if we can break above, right, then any sort of pullback into this consolidation here, horrible. Any sort of pullback into this consolidation here, and I'll be looking to ride it up to this low right here. Make sense? So that's long scenario 3 for XRP. Let's move on. And we'll do Glimmer. Rose and Sol. We covered Rose and Sol on Friday, and we covered Rose and Sol on, I think, Wednesday as well. So if you want to go and check out those episodes, we'll do Glimmer. Wow. I don't think this is one of the L2s that we should really be looking at. So maybe Qcoin has more data. Nope, Qcoin hasn't got more data. Maybe Bybit has more data. Oh my goodness. Guys, I don't think Glimmer is a good coin to chart. Okay, every chart that I've gone on for Glimmer has been ugly. This looks like a rug. Okay, this looks like a complete rug. It has not shown any sign of strength at all. Maybe if we get some news on it, maybe if there's any sort of real news on Glimmer that could potentially start giving this some movement. But no, this looks horrible. This is not worth. This is not really worth starting. Okay, so we've got, okay, 2 people have asked for Tell. Let's have a look at Tell. All right. Excuse me. Let's have a look at Tell. Okay, so once again, I'm seeing here, this looks like a very illiquid chart. Okay, very, very illiquid chart. And really and truly, we can only use the price action that we have here. So, what's going to really stand out to me? Well, really what stands out to me is this right here. This will be the purple line of death. I don't think price can even get above here. I don't think price can even get back to that. And maybe we'll use this low here as well. I'm going to keep that as purple because it looks absolutely horrible. If we go into the weekly, again, nothing. Daily, no. Again, nothing. Again, nothing. We've just got more levels that we could potentially tap. Look, if you think about it, right? Even if I take this level out here and I do this, look at what's happened, right? We've got resistance here. We've got resistance here, deviation, confirmation, compound, break below, confirmation right here, This is the deviation. And then we've even retested this as resistance. This looks horrible. This looks like it's just going to keep going lower. There's nothing here that proves to me that this thing wants to go higher in any way, shape, or form. So I'm very, very sorry if you were hoping for better news on Tell, but that is horrible. That's as horrible as Glimmer if you think about it. Come on, guys, let's pick some altcoins that might have some actual volume. Okay, and we've got 60 people in the chat still. Can we get a little like spike? If you haven't already liked the video, please do like the video. We need to get above 100 likes in order for the algorithms to really pay attention to us. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are growing the NJ community. We're trying so hard to get to 3K subs, and we need your help to do that. So please make sure you are subscribing to the channel just as much as you are liking. Bottom right hand corner, okay, bottom right hand corner. Let's see this. Exo looking on Glimmer, but he's saying it needs to create a base bottom. Well, yeah. Look, I mean, look. Let's go back to Glimmer real quick. You tell me, right? You tell me. What is this? What is this? Is this price action that anybody can really work with? Do you know, for Glimmer, what I'd need to see for Glimmer? I'd need for Glimmer to do something like this. I'm not saying it doesn't have the fundamentals. I'm just saying that right now it looks horrendous. Okay, so if we look up like this for Glimmer, this is the level that it needs to get back to, and it needs to break above and really hold to take my attention, and that is 190% away. Okay, and in the meantime, we're just squeezing. We're just squeezing with no with nothing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This looks rubbish to me. This looks absolutely rubbish. I'm going to delete this as well. This looks rubbish. It looks absolutely rubbish. It doesn't matter who's looking at what, but I'm not looking at this. VRA SC is looking at VRA. I know that he's got some weird, awkward beef with VRA, so definitely check out SC's channel for that. RUNE, recovered RUNE. We actually covered RUNE already on the other day. So I'll quickly open the RUNE chart for you guys. We've got some trade plans for RUNE already. If so with RUNE, right, I was looking for something like this. This was the short confirmation here, and if we could hold this trend line, and maybe if we could hold it like this, there's your confirmation, there's your stop loss right there. So if you want a cheeky setup on RUNE, then you can have a look, but it's looking really bad. Okay, if we do something like this for RUNE, this is the only thing that you need to pay attention to with RUNE. If RUNE gets below this trend line here, like this, then it's a short to this. Now we have got tons of support here, right? We've got tons of support. However, if we break below this, it's over. All right, it's over. We're going for these lows and we're going for this high. Okay, we don't want a break in market structure for RUNE. We want it to hold this trend line, and really and truly, if it can hold this trend line, I am targeting up here. Okay, I know it's quite far away, but I am. You've got these highs here, you've got these highs here. These are, look at all this resistance that we had here on this level here. So really and truly, I'm expecting for price to do something like this. Okay, and just playing it for the range. That's what I'm expecting price to do. So with RUNE, we've got our trade setups, but I'd be very, very, very careful taking longs at the moment with all of this. So look, if we hold the trend line here and it's looking good, or even if we don't, even if we do something along the lines of this, right? That's good because we've deviated this level. We got back above the trend line. We've got back above the mid range. Then we can comfortably target this little thing here and this high here. Okay, RUNE, easy peasy for RUNE. What else have we got? Let's do one or two more and then I'm going to shoot off. Okay. Scarlett says, I'm telling my boyfriend to give a like and sub. Yes, tell him to do so. He is more than welcome to join us on the NJ community. We want more people to join. We want more people to like, subscribe, etc., etc., etc. Okay, we've got more than enough room here. We want this community to keep growing. So please, definitely share it with your friends and whatnot. You know, we want this community to grow. I'm going to do one more, I think. I'm going to do one more. Let's do Mana. Okay? Mañana. Okay, let's do Mana USDT. Okay, right, Mana. Let's see what we've got. Firstly, I have to see to see where is price trapped. I have to tell where is price trapped. If I can discover where price is trapped, that's we got a little bit of a flat body here as well. All right, let's have a look at main. So if we go here. So Mana will be the last one, guys. Mana will be the last one. So please, while I'm covering Mana, if you could like the video, get us to 100 likes. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I can't implore you more than I already have. Subscribe to the channel. Okay, we've got so much stuff coming. So subscribe to the channel. And look, amazing comment from here already. Lee Davies says, first time watching, enjoyed it. Thanks for the info. Subscribe. Cheers, mate. Thank you, mate. And I'll see you tomorrow at 12:15. Appreciate you. Let's cover up Mana and then we will head off. So maybe the body of this. I'm going to pick the body of this, not the low, but we may be able to refine that. Let's give this a different color. And then I'll go back here. Let's have a look at the Wakley. Okay, Wakley. Anything on the Wakley? So that was the up move. So this was the up move here that pushed the market below. Deviation, get back above. And as soon as we reclaimed, we were able to push. I like this level a lot. I'm going to keep this level. Let's see our purple line of death. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We've been trying to come back up. We've got that little 75% here as well. Okay, cool. We can go into the daily. I think we've got our range. I think we've got our range. Let's plot our range out for Mana. So how big is this range though? How big is this range? So if we do this to this, it is a 55% range. That's good. That's fantastic. 55% range. I like that. So let's drag this out and see. How is that looking? Does that look respected? There. So let's have a look. If we break it down like this. Okay, so we've got our bearish order block right there. Okay. So you see this up move here on the left is the up move that led to the move down. I've chosen this as my range low because we've got all these hindsight price actions here. So I'm going to mark this block out here just because that is a bearish order block and that's where price keeps wicking into. So if I maybe give it a different color, maybe something like this, that looks better, more cleaner. Okay. Okay, Joffrey's asked for EGLD. All right, I'm going to do one more chart after this. I'm going to do EGLD, but that's it. I'm not going to do more after that. Okay? If we can get to 3K subscribers, if you guys could make 3K subscribers happen right now, then I'd stay on for another 2 hours. I promise you I would. But we need to get to 3K subscribers and you guys have to help me. So look, let's have a look. What are we seeing here for mañana? We have the deviation here, which led back inside of the range. And then we started pushing down. All good. Cool. Now, this range high here is what seems to be super, super important. Okay, range high, we've got resistance here, we've got resistance here. And then once we break below and we break below this bearish order block right here on the left, that's when we start really holding below here and here and even here. Okay, so with Mana, there's multiple things that I can say on Mana. Okay, if we go into the 4 hour now, just to get a little bit clearer, I think this looks like it's ready to go back lower. I think this looks like it's going to basically just shank into here. That's what it looks like to me. All right, stop loss would have to be here. Hard stop loss would have to be here, which is just way too high. The risk to reward isn't good. So any sort of push up for Mana, I'd be looking for a breakdown into here with a stop loss there. Okay. Mana's not looking good. It looks very heavy. It looks like it's turning. What would I need to get long on Mana? We are at the mid-range. Look. Resistance, support, resistance, deviation. The mid-range is a very, very strong level for Mana. I totally agree. However, we've just shanked right into it and it's not doing anything. It's just holding there. So to me, where's the buy pressure? Where's the people stepping in? Why is there no wick? Why did we just close like that? It looks horrible. So I'm expecting something like this for Mana. And why am I expecting it to go from here from 91 cents to 81 cents? Well, because look, this is where the deviation is. This is where the support is. This is where the support is. This is an overall deviation of that level, which once we deviated, it allowed us to push right back into this supply zone here. Where did we get that supply zone from? We got that supply zone from the weekly time frame, which is pretty much this. Okay, the up move that led to the market going down. So I hope you guys took a screenshot. I'll add the chapters in after. That is the short setup for Mana. Unfortunately, the stop loss has to be there. It's a little bit wide. It's a 1-to-1 ratio trade. It is what it is. Mana's not really a great trade. Okay, EGLD will be the last one. Ooh, EGLD. We're at the monthly open here for EGLD. Okay, all right, let's have a quick look at EGLD. So I'm going to pick the monthly open of January 2021. So the monthly close, sorry, this was the open. So I'm going to pick the close of January 2021 and I know that this will be able to be refined, so it's cool. So I'm going to push this like this here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this out. Excuse me. Purple line of death. Go into the weekly, and again, look, I'm seeing the same thing again. Can you guys see? Look, right? I don't even need to break this down. We don't even need to go further than this. All right. Price gets above this level here, this purple line here. Price gets above, okay? And when price gets above, look at the way that we hold support. It rounds out before it pushes up, okay? It rounds out before it pushes up. Now, we're kind of seeing the same thing in reverse. Look, we've got below this level here. This was an important level. Why was this an important level? Because this is the support that we made before we retested all-time high. So look, arguably, I can even take this right here like this. And I can even mark out a second level. And the reason for that level, I can say, well, look, this is the consolidation that led to an all-time high here. So if price is to come back into this consolidation here, surely we're going to do something like this, right? But that's not what happened. What's happened is we've even broken down. We've broken down in one foul swoop, okay? And now we're starting to turn. It looks like we're doing this. So I don't know how low EGLD can go, but that looks horrible to me. So I'm not even going to mark out a trade setup for EGLD. The short is very, very obvious. Hard stop loss here, hard stop loss there, soft stop loss here above the purple line. Really and truly, where are we targeting? We're targeting 35 cents. So I think it's very possible as well. Oh, excuse me. I think it's very possible. I think it's very, very possible for EGLD to do that. Lads and ladies, we are 6 likes away from 100 likes. Can somebody in the chat make that happen for me? Let's have a quick look at our subscribers as well. Can we get 3 more subscribers for the day? Okay, so if there are 3 of you in the chat, if you are one of the people I'm talking about, like the video if you haven't already. And if you are in the chat and you're not subscribed, we're looking for 3 more subscribers for the day. Okay, for the day. Can you guys make that happen? All right. So I am going to leave you all from here. It's been a fantastic episode. So much covered in today's episode. So much covered. I really want you guys to take away from this. Go back and think to yourselves, what did I talk about in terms of FOMC, in terms of the earning reports, in terms of where the market is going, in terms of the pandemic that we might possibly be on the verge of. You know, this is all crazy, crazy news. Look, for tomorrow, if we get something along the lines of we have a new global pandemic, the world needs to go into shutdown mode again, capitulation will arrive. Bitcoin will see all-time lows. Okay, for this cycle, we will go back into very, very low category, maybe 12K, maybe 10K, maybe even lower. Okay, the stock market will collapse if we go into another pandemic, and the Fed will have to do something. The bull market won't happen overnight. It won't. We won't just suddenly start back in a bull market. It will take some time. for us to bottom out and truly capitulate before we can get to the next stage of the cycle. So as always, I'm live every day anyway, 12:15. We are going to be on at 12:15. Don't worry, don't worry. We'll be on at 12:15 tomorrow, covering all sorts on Bitcoin and Ethereum and cryptocurrencies. We'll be one day closer to FOMC as well. And look at these beautiful people. Look at these comments. A big shout out to Crypto Hulk and MTAL for making second accounts to like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciated, appreciated, appreciated. So look, a massive thank you to all of you, for those who have joined, for those who have sat down through the TA and through the FA and really tried to get a handle and understanding as to what we're talking about. You guys, I'm hoping each and every one of you guys make it, and I do believe you will anyway. So anyway, look, I'll see you in less than 24 hours. We'll be live again tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. So make sure you hit the bell icon as well so that you guys know when I'm live. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're liking the video. And also, please look at the Telegram, the link in the description below for the Telegram, okay? You want to join the Telegram. You definitely do. Why are you missing out on the Telegram? So it's the first link in the description below. Also, one final quick shout out to our sponsor, Prime XBT, who is making these streams possible, who's making these streams happen. So if you get a second and if you're liking the content and you want to check out their UI, use the link in the description below with the code TRADERNJ1. Sign up, have a look at their platform. You don't need to deposit anything, but if you do decide to, you get a $7,000 deposit bonus. So it helps me, it helps the channel. It could potentially help you as well. Check them out, okay? Massive shout out to Prime. I'm going to shoot off now. A big shout out to Scarlett, to Rolly, to Aya, to Brown Hulk, to MTAL, Crypto Hulk, Mixmol, Try, Joffrey. That's a really interesting way to spell that. I like that. I think it is Joffrey, but I really like the way you've spelled that there. Quick shout out to Lee, to Joel, to Hassan, to CG, to David, Just CZ, Crypto Tiger, Tariq, Semi, Akash, Imran, Joel again because he's a superstar, OG on the channel, and just a shout out to everyone. All right, you guys are all fantastic. Cheers. Monday has been fire indeed. David, see you tomorrow as well. See you guys tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. More to cover, more to analyze, way more volatility in the week. So make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, all the general bollocks. See you tomorrow at 12:15 and goodbye. Goodbye and love you all. What have I done with my vape? Where's my vape? What have I done with